Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today is our last day in Ontario and the last day with the Ford Mustang Mach E. So I always told you I don't like to make videos about how I like a car before I actually drive it. So now it's been 2 days and I feel like I'm able to say if it's a good car or a bad car, and if you should consider getting one of these either as a rental from Avis if you're in the Toronto area visiting family or traveling, or as your personal vehicle. But before we go there, let's just have a quick look at what it actually looks like on the outside and on the inside, just so that you know what to expect. So this is the outside, obviously, and when it first came out it was very controversial because the Mustang badge means something to a lot of people in the car world, right? So when Ford decided to make this electric, call it a Mustang, and then add Mach E, people were like, maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's not a good idea. So obviously there are people who hated it, and then there are people who love it. For me, after being in this car for 2 days now, driving it around, going on a road trip to Niagara Falls, so don't worry, you will see that video coming out very, very soon. I think that Ford did a wonderful job with this car. But let's have a look at, the exterior. I did a little walk around. It's pretty nice. I like the shape. Obviously the prancing horse is up front. And then there's something that was being killed by the car yesterday when we were driving, some sort of bug or whatever. I love the wheels on this. So these are the nicer 19-inch wheels, but still very much comfortable. And obviously this is the Mach E 4X, so you've got four-wheel drive. Thankfully it's still on summer tires, so it was nice to go around curves and stuff, so it was actually quite grippy. But for me, I love what they did with the lights on the back. They look amazing and very reminiscent of the ICE Mustangs of today and yesteryear. So they did a good job on that, and having a windshield wiper on the back is always nice, especially in this shape of a vehicle. So look, you've seen this car on the streets. You know you like it or you don't. But for me, it's awesome. And this one comes with all the little bells and whistles. So you've got a front camera here. You got side camera, so full 360. All right, so now let's open up the doors and see what the interior looks like. So here we go. We got the doors open. I wish the back door opened a little bit more and it was a little bit wider. Families with smaller kids and baby chairs and baby seats, right? They might have a harder time. But storage, plentiful and easy. In the back, you've got vents here. You've got a USB-A, USB-C port, and plenty of room. Lights up there. Obviously this one being the second top spec, because the top spec is the GT. Still very nice inside and very, very spacious. My son was in the back yesterday and the first day and says there are no complaints. So there you go. That is your back seat. Very nice door opening controls here. You've got some speakers on the door. So now let's have a look at the front. So I went to Tim Hortons because, as any Canadian will say, you got to test out the capacity of the cup holder. So there you go. It fits a water bottle, right? And then a coffee from Tim Hortons, not a problem. And this whole place is just very nice to sit in. And at the nighttime, again, I'll post a video of the ambient lighting and the whole situation at night. It looks pretty nice inside. So let's go in. And obviously, hate it or love it, this screen, you will either love it or hate it. A lot of people say, hey, why didn't they go for one that looks like the Tesla version, which is more horizontal? They went for the vertical. I think after using it, it's great. Simply because you have a lot of real estate up here. Plus, all the fonts are huge, easy to read. So for me, when I'm driving, I don't need to squint and guess what it says, but it's very easy. And then obviously my favorite thing is having a display right in front of me that shows my speed, my range, battery percentage, and all that. I wish Teslas had it. Unfortunately, they do not. I was recently in China, and then the Zeekr that I was driving had these capacitive touch buttons, piano black, and all that. It wasn't fun, let me just say that. So having physical buttons and very minimal piano black works for me here. Okay, we got like a little bit of piano black right here and here. You don't need too much. It's like the piano black factory knows that North American automakers are over that, so now they're going to China and trying to sell their wares over there. So having minimal like this, just little accents, works better than just covering the whole wheel in piano black. You know what it is. After a while, fingerprints show up and it's just nasty, all right? So it's much better this way. Plus, tactile buttons, always better than anything capacitive. At least you know you pressed it and you can feel it. So kudos to Ford for doing that. Then of course we have our light controls up here, and then we have our mirror, and there is also an interior camera. Now, it's not as fancy as what Tesla offers you with the app that you can see inside of the car, but still very nice to have. Okay, so now let's have a look at the trunk and the Frunk, because yes, this car has both. The trunk is big, let's just say that. So if you're taking this car from Avis as a rental and you have big bags, not a problem to put stuff inside, as you guys can see. Little cubbies here for odds and ends. And obviously these seats just fold down, so you've got a flat floor all the way to the front if you want. Plus there's lights, and the prancing horse is back, which is very nice. Little Easter eggs like this always make it nice to own a car. And then very good tie downs if you need to. So the trunk is great, I'm not complaining. The only thing that I don't like is this flimsy cover. When it's windy, it gets all like out of shape and gets stuck and whatever. If I was owning this car, I would just remove it, so I wouldn't even need it. Windows are tinted, nobody's gonna look inside the car anyways. Time for the Frunk or the front trunk. And you know, a lot of car makers who make EVs go the easy route and don't actually provide one. And this one is huge, as you guys can see. You can fit quite a lot of stuff in there. So between the trunk and the Frunk, if you have smaller bags like carry-ons, you can easily put them there, backpacks, whatever. And as you guys can see, it's sealed. So if it's raining or there's inclement weather, whatever you put inside there, it's not going to be wet. And obviously there's a release for emergencies in case you put a human in here for whatever reason. So yeah, having a Frunk on an EV is a must for me, and then this one delivers. I wish more companies would do that, like Kia is trying sometimes, but they're just going on the very small front Frunk, which is not even a Frunk, yeah? And then obviously you've got all of your sensors for parking, front and back. So yeah, it's pretty easy to park this car. I don't know about you guys, but I think this car is a pretty good package. And I apologize for the noise, but we're right next to a highway. So yeah, I like it. It's very, very good. So now let's check out the back seats and see how comfortable they are. So I am now sitting in the back. The view from the back is quite nice, with the panoramic roof being a very nice addition. Makes it very light and airy inside here. So like I say, there's quite a lot of space. And for someone like me, I'm 179 centimeters. I believe it's like 5'10", 5'11", something like that. So I'm sitting behind myself. I have a lot of space for my knees. I have a place to put my feet underneath the seat as well. So you know what? I would be very comfortable here. And headroom, surprisingly good as well. I wouldn't expect it to be this good because we do have that panoramic roof. So I'm sitting straight, and yeah, I'm not touching the headliner at all. So quite nice. I like it. Good place to be if you need to be in the back. So very spacious. Good family car. You've got seat memory right here for 3 drivers. All the seats are powered. They are heated, but unfortunately not ventilated. And then one more thing I want to show you guys is the backup camera, because I think it's pretty nice. So this is the backup camera. So you've got your backup view here, 360 view up here, and then you've got these buttons. So you can push this one to get a little bit of a wider angle in the front. Same thing here in the back if you need more of a wider angle to just see where you're going. And then obviously all the different sides. So if you're parking against a curb and you don't want to ruin your nice wheels, you can do that. And then obviously you have your parking sensors right there too. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. I like it. Most cars will cheapen out, put in like pretty bad cameras. Could this be more clear? Sure. The edges are a little bit washed out and blurry, but overall, I would say not too bad. So look guys, as a rental, awesome car. As a personal car, I would definitely think about getting one of these, especially the 2025 version. That is way better than this one. It has a heat pump, faster charging, and all of that. So speaking of charging, let's actually drive to a charger right now, because I got to top up. I'm only at about 20%, and we're going to Toronto later, and we're going to go have some food, and I'm going to film some of that, so that's going to be at the end of this video. But yeah, let's go first charge. And I've had one charging session yesterday at Ivy, which is a chain of charging spots along highways here in Ontario. But there is a better, nicer version somewhere else. It's not Ivy, it's a Park Plus Charge, something like that, by a supermarket. It's only 4 stalls, but let's go and check it out and see if it's any good. I hope it is, because Ivy wasn't that great. Okay, let's get on the road then. We have arrived at these chargers. So I've never seen this company before, Plug Plus Charge, which is nice. So we arrived with 18% on the battery, and I preconditioned to here. So how it works is you just have to put this charger into the infotainment. It will precondition the battery, and you'll be ready to go. So it seems like these ones are at 150. And what I read online is that some people with the Mach E did manage to get 150 before, but consensus is that it is around a 125 kilowatt charging speed. So we will see. Let's get this done. And what is cool is these things, these chargers, you see they have a payment terminal and no app. Ooh, that's different. All right, we're charging. So I selected because you can select options like 50 kilowatt, 100 kilowatt, and 150. So 150 kilowatt charging speed costs you 50 cents per minute, but right now we're getting 88 at 19%. So we shall see how quickly it actually goes. Yesterday we were 125 on those IV chargers, but of course we arrived with like 4% state of charge, and battery was hot. Even though I preconditioned, I don't think it was enough. But anyways, we'll see if it improves at all. But this is quite a full station here. So we've got a Kia EV6, of course the black Mach E, we got a white Mach E, and then we got an Ioniq 5. And the consensus here is that these stations are the best in the Kitchener-Waterloo area. So unfortunately there's only 4 of them. I wish there was more, because they are quite nice. I've never seen the idea of just tapping. No apps, no nothing like that. Are we doing anything better here? No, we're stuck at 88.7. So we're not getting the fastest speeds possible, but that's okay. I got to go to at least 80 here today, and then we're going to be going to Toronto. These are the EV6 stats, and we're looking at what? Almost 50 kilowatt at 46%. And everybody knows this car can do much better than that. So, or maybe the guy just chose the 50 kilowatt charging speed option and not the full speed as he could have chosen. So yeah, that's also interesting. I mean, they give you a choice, right? Like, oh, you don't want to pay so much and you're going to be here for a little bit. then you can pay less. But obviously then that adds to congestion, and it's only 4 chargers, and there's many other questions. Well, one thing I don't like about the Mach E is, for people like me who like to know all the stats, it doesn't show us the current kilowatt charging speed, unfortunately. So it only shows you when you will be finished at 80, which is 10:48 a.m. Now it's 10:09, so it's what, a 39-minute charge still. And the same thing happening here. On the charging screen, we don't get any information. So 100% it will be at 11:38, and then, well, we're only going to 80, right? Or a little bit past 80. So it would have been nice to have kilowatt charging speeds. I know that the Ford app has that, but since this is a rental, I do not have access to the Ford app. So having it in the screen, I would say, makes more sense. But at least I can zoom in from the comfort of the warm car, because it's a little bit cold outside today, 8 degrees. So cold weather also impacts charging speed. So we're looking at what? We've been a steady 87 since we started. So $3.78 so far. You know, guys, how I feel about about time billing and not kilowatt hour billing, but I'm not going to say that again. You can watch another video, but I wish it was kilowatt hour, simply because in a situation like this, when it's colder, your battery is not at optimal temperature, you are charging much slower than your car can actually charge. So you're going to be spending more money. So here's what I'm talking about. So if you want to limit your speeds to 50 kilowatt, you're paying 37 cents per minute. 100 kilowatt, you're paying 43 cents per minute, and 150, which is the max of this charger, it's 50 cents per minute. And as you guys can see, Chatamo is limited to 50. So then, yeah, you accept to continue, you choose your connector, right? Touchscreen, really, really responsive. Very, very nice. Oh, and then there's a $1 connection fee. Interesting. I've not seen this before. And then, yeah, all you do is just tap your card and it just started. So very different way of thinking about charging. The way that gas stations do it, maybe it's the future. I don't know. Not sure about the $1 though, because it's already quite expensive. We just hit 50% and we're still a pretty steady 87 kilowatt going into the battery there. So not too bad. I guess the car just wasn't warm enough. So at 51% now, getting these kind of speeds, definitely we could have gotten much better start had we preconditioned the battery a bit more. The car did spend the whole night outside. It was cold. It's now 8 degrees. So yeah, not too bad. I wish I could do a test where it's summer and more optimal conditions. But this is also good for winter for us here in Canada, just to see what to expect if we drive this car in the winter time. So here's some information about this charger. Apparently it's made in Canada, but like the app says, PlugShare says, sorry, this one is not capable of charging EGMP, you know, the 800 volt architecture cars at their max speed. So makes sense that the Ioniq 5 and the Kia EV6 have chosen to go slower on the charge. But there you go. So the manufacturer is eCamion Incorporated. Never heard of this. The design is quite nice. I had to get out of the cold for, it's a different kind of cold than what we have in Alberta. It's way more humid cold, so wet cold. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, right? Like you can choose your charging speed. So like this guy's been here an hour. There's only 4 of these here, and these are arguably the best ones in the whole city of Kitchener and Waterloo. Now, I don't see many EVs driving around, so I don't think that there's many EV owners here. So maybe that's enough, but still, if I needed to charge and there's a bunch of people just camping at 50 kilowatt because it's cheaper and they're going shopping or whatever, I'm not sure if that's the right way. There's no mention on the Park Plus Charge chargers here about idle fees or anything like that. So it's pretty interesting how they, you know, started their business model this way. I don't know if it works or it doesn't. You guys tell me in the comments. Choosing your charging speed and how much you want to pay, good idea, bad idea? I mean, like, EV6 been here an hour now, so imagine there's like 4 cars doing that and you really, really, really need to charge. What are you going to do then? What is going on here with this Ford Mustang Mach E? We're at 74 and now we've jumped up to 71.8 kilowatt charging speed. Definitely something to do with the thermals. When I arrived, it must have been super cold, the battery. Maybe this is its true fast charging curve? I am not sure. This has to be investigated more. And also the 2025 version of the same car, of the Mach E, has even faster charging, they say. So the lady with the Ioniq 5 has just left. She left at 97%. Kia EV6 is still here, as we can see, and 74 minutes on the charge, $28. Yeah, I don't know if this is the right way to do things. I think we need more chargers, and then it will be not an issue. But anyway, not too many people showing up, so I'm guessing it's okay. And then here are all the cabinets. Quite nice. Lots of LED light features. Let's see what it says here. There you go. So max output is 540, and we have 4 chargers, so 600 if everybody maxes out 150. So maybe it's because this thing can't handle that much too. I don't know. Interesting. But yeah, I'm very, very pleased with this little installation here. I just checked on PlugShare, and they have a bunch of these locations in Toronto as well. So maybe we will be able to charge here again. Well, not here, but with this company. So let's zoom in closer here. We're 78%, still pulling 70. I do wonder how much it will drop when we go past 80. We'll see. And here we go, the big drop. So after 80, it went down to 37.8. So just kind of for reference, my Kia Soul EV past 80 drops down to 24. So this is slightly better, but not amazing. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more in terms of past 80 charging speed, just in case people really do need it. You know, the conversation about camping at chargers, it's been, you know, talked about, right? So, but sometimes you do need to go a little bit higher than 80. So in this sense, it would have been nice if that was available to people. So 37.8, it's not amazing. And we've been here 45 minutes. So it took us about 43 minutes to get to 80, and we put in 57.5 kilowatt hours into the battery, and at $20. I'll calculate what that is per kilowatt hour, just so you guys can see. Because sometimes time-based is cheaper when you actually start counting it out, right? So, anywho, I'm gonna go to around, I would say 90, just in case I have enough for today, or 85 at least. It's 10:50 right now. I gotta start driving back at 11, so I'm thinking maybe 10 more minutes, and that'll be enough. All right, it's 11, enough of this. So let's just have a quick look here before I turn off everything. So we had 88%, took us 56 minutes, and paid $25, and we added 64 kilowatt hours. I'll put it into kilowatt hour pricing, okay? If we did this on a different charger, but that's it. Almost 90%. I'm out of here. And a quick update here on our Kia EV6. They've been here 91 minutes now, 96%, $34. And they added 71 kilowatt hour. There you go. You can do that too if you want. All right, anyways, we are now off to Toronto for a day of fun with the family before we fly back to Edmonton. We have arrived in Toronto, so we're going to do a final charge because we have to bring this car back with at least 80% on the charge. So we're actually pulling 90, which is not too bad at 51%. So that definitely tells me that this morning when I was doing it, the battery was way, way too cold. This charging location here filled up. Now we have a Audi Q4 e-tron, and then we have a Lightning over there. All right, so what do I think of the Avis rented Ford Mustang Mach E? I think it's a great car. Even in charging with this kind of charging infrastructure that they have in Ontario. The only things that I would say would be good to have is a heat pump, which is going to be addressed in the 2025 year. We'll make it more efficient when it's colder. Put the charging speed in the infotainment, please, because it will be nice to know what it is without going into the app. What else? And I think that's pretty much it. Everything else is pretty good. So if you are in the market for an EV, you want to go rent one, go to Avis, pick up a Mach E and try it out for yourself. All right, that's it for me. We got to get to the airport, drop the car off, and go back to Edmonton. So thanks for watching. Take care, and subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you liked it, all that good stuff. All right, take care. Bye.